What's going on, Cricket Nation? It's AB here on the Reverse Scoop podcast with Nabil. What's going on, Nabil?
Good, Adam. Good, man. How you doing? How's everybody doing at home?
Well, I'm doing good. I'm doing fabulous. Ready for another epic podcast right here. Plenty of stuff going on in the world of cricket. Let's go.
Plenty, man. Plenty. Busy week for USA Cricket. And busy upcoming week as we get into things for Major League Cricket. Some governance updates, announcements. So a lot happened this week. So we're gonna try and recap, everything for you guys. Starting from USA topping the table in World Cricket League 2, which we're all proud of the boys for being able to accomplish such a major challenge, and we're looking towards that ODI World Cup, man, in 2027, I believe. So we're going to go over, those performances. We're going to go over, ESPNcricinfo Awards, our stars, USA Cricket stars that won, some major awards, as well as we'll do some shout outs to some nominees as well that were, part of the nominations. And then we'll get into some, again, cricket governance updates. USA Cricket announced some election process changes, as well as some independent female director changes, and they're finally announced some election updates that we brought up last week, Adam. So we'll get into that, and then obviously MLC draft and Champions Trophy. So a lot happening, man. Let's start with the USA men's topping that table of World Cricket League 2. Some wonderful performances by the USA men's. So where do we want to start? Let's start off with the last ODI, man.
The last ODI was pretty nuts. I mean, I'm pretty sure we got rolled for 120, and then we rolled them for what was it, 70
65,
something like 65, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's 65. Yeah.
So I'm not sure what happened with the deck. I haven't seen the highlights, but I mean, to get rolled for 120 obviously isn't the best.
So it's the first ODI that no pace bowler got a ball from the USA men's side. It was all spin all the way, right from the start of their innings, right? So I don't think it's ever happened, and they posted it that it was the first time that no fast bowler actually bowled in an ODI match. It was all spinners all throughout, which was kind of crazy.
I think Kenji Gay took 5, right?
He did. Kenji Gay was the star. Yeah, 7 overs, 1 maiden, 11 for 5. So, some major blow, man. Like performance,
that's crazy.
Just
how much and how many
how
much and Hamsi he get? Who got the other 5 wickets? Hamid would have bowled. Who else bowled?
The other 5 wickets: Harmeet Singh 1, Yasir Mohammed 2, Milan Kumar 2. So they shared all 10 wickets amongst those spinners.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
There you go. So and then I think we lost. We won the first game, lost the second game, and then won 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, it probably says something about the conditions that they faced in that ODI match, because getting bowled out for 122 and then rolling the other team over for 65, speaks of the kind of surface they were probably playing on. So
yeah,
so
I know it's good.
I'm thinking, so they did, really well on this match, but the one before, I think they also won by 70 runs. I believe that was against Namibia. Yeah, Namibia. So they rolled them over in that last ODI too. I believe they played 3 or 4 matches within the last week since we last did our pod, and they've won all 3 of those matches. And I think they lost 1 too, earlier, which was their third last match or something. So
yeah, they played 4, they lost 1. Yeah. So, and like I said, the replays weren't available to see, so you can really just going on the scorecard. So yeah, I don't think there was. I think Makalamala got some runs. One of those games, Gas got some runs. Yeah, Gas got some runs. So I think Patel, that first game, as we mentioned last week, he had scored 5 50s in a row. I think he's lost his streak. I don't know if he got a 50 in that next game, but I mean, it's good. Top of the table. Things are doing well. We're kicking on to the next stage. So all good. And I mean, a lot of
for
these
this 4-match leg that happened, Adam, who would you say was the player of the series? I know there was a lot of good performances throughout these 4 matches. But who do you think stands out? I want to know from the fans too and the viewers that are watching us, right? Drop it in the chat. Who you think was the best performer. I personally think that Milind Kumar, really was the breakout of, these past 4 matches and really dominated with the bat and ball and came to the party to dominate. So I think he, now brings a different dimension to this USA team with the kind of overs they can get out of him, and he provides some solid runs in the middle order.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. I mean, we were back and forth on who would even put in the middle order, and we were discussing on who's going to be in the team. So yeah, having those good performances with the bat and with the ball, we'll be able to slide him in there to a more consistent spot. Because right now we have Aaron Jones in there. You've had Sai, some guys that could play in that position. So Van Kalsay could play in that position also. So, it's just good to have the guys come in there and do it. So, good for him. I'll definitely say he was there. Like I said, Gauss got some runs, Patel got some runs, McLemore got some runs. I think overall, we'd probably go with Kumar as probably man of the series.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, again, there was collective performances, and, I'm going to give a shout out to the skipper, Monank Patel, who also scored 450s in a row. So I think it's very underlooked thing, when the captain's consistently performing and he doesn't get still the accolades, so the team is doing so well, I believe, is because of the leadership qualities of Monank Patel and him being able to continuously to pile runs on from the top of the order, which again, it's a attracting kind of a quality, right? When your skipper leads from the front, other guys around you will also start to, chip in with, meaningful performances. And I think that's what's, happening right now in USA Cricket. A lot of meaningful performances, Kenjige's 5 for, Milind Kumar's performance, Harmeet Singh doing his thing, Jesse Singh always ever improving. And we got Shadley, Van Shalkwick. A lot of these guys, they're playing their roles, and I think that's what we can attain some of that success to. So kudos to these guys, man. Kudos to all the players. Kudos to the USA, players, staff. Despite all the challenges and things they've had to deal with, they've come out on top. Punching above their weight as always. And I always say, imagine if there was more transparency and more, vision alignment in the process. We would probably be achieving a lot more. With better, things that better management, I guess I can say. But kudos to them. Anything else you want to add on USA Cricket's current performances, top of the table, doing their thing?
They had to knock this out of the bag. They went and played their 4 games. We're going to come back here. They'll be playing. Some might go to the IPL. And Ali Khan will go to the IPL. No, he's not playing in the tournament, but IPL is next. And obviously, we have the draft coming up for the MLC, so they'll be turning themselves back to U.S. to get ready for preseason for their MLC side. I don't think there's too much else going on around the world. I don't know if any of them are going to go to the Blast or go to the 100. I don't think so. But, yeah, that's probably the next thing for them is going to be MLC for most of them. Yeah. So
yeah. I mean, we're gonna get to the draft. The draft is gonna be a lot of fun, and we're gonna get into it a little bit later of the retained players from the 6 franchises and who they're released, and what the draft is gonna be looking like. So stay tuned a little bit for that. And if you guys have any questions, right now regarding the USA's current top standings, you guys have any comments you want to drop about that? Right now is the time. For any questions regarding USA's performance. And I think in the second ODI as well, Adam, we had Andres Gauss, perform really well, which we didn't call out. 83 runs. Again, Andres Gauss has been always, top quality performer, consistent, doing his thing. So, some words for him too, man, because he's been a superstar.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I mean, he's going to be a cornerstone, a key part of the USA team, whether it's the ODIs or the T20 format. He's going to be looking down top of the order there. It's going to be finding out who is the person that's going to ride with him. Are they going to give Taylor a run in the T20s? Are they going to have McLemara kind of be there with him in the ODIs? It's kind of not really like locked in who's that extra person that's going to always be with him. So we know that at least he's the one locked in there. So that's the main thing, and they'll maybe move around him. So it's all good. And I mean, he's going to be a great pickup again. Obviously, I believe he's being retained. Is he being? We getting to that later, but I don't know if he's been retained. It's obviously a big retention.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that list. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the MLC. I'm itching.
Yeah, me too, man. MLC is going to be fun. And
I got to know.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you guys let us know in the comments who you think is going to be the number 1 draft picked on this upcoming MLC draft. I'm dropping that question a little bit early for you guys, but if you guys are here, drop it in the chat who's the number 1 draft pick this year. And when we get into it a little bit later, we'll back up there. So USA Cricket, great performance, top of the table, ODI World Cup. Here we come, Adam. And I think we're going to upset some teams, man, in 2027. So exciting times there for us.
Oh, yeah. No, we're beating Australia. I want to see a USA versus Australia match. USA will beat Australia. The current Australian team is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Just have to make a disclaimer. I'm only allowed to criticize the Australian cricket team. Disclaimer. If everyone saw that during the week, disclaimer. Yeah, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose in a heavy. They're not gonna get a win in the Champions Trophy, but we'll get to that later. Team USA.
Absolutely, yeah. I hope we keep this momentum going until past the 2027 World Cup, man, because we are obviously on the high right now, right? And after every high point, there's usually a nosedive, and then you climb back up again, right? It doesn't have to be. It depends how long we can sustain it, right?
What about the 90s? Australia in the 90s. There was no dip. This is 36 games straight.
Yeah, true.
36
that is
games
true.
straight.
It was just a constant climb.
Constant climb.
Well, our wish would be for USA to continue dominating throughout that 2027 ODI World Cup, and then obviously Olympics when we get there, because that's a big opportunity that we want to obviously get to.
Oh yeah,
right.
No, we got the Olympics dialed in. Olympics are dialed in. I mean, honestly, for real life, moving into Olympics, like we're gonna see how this goes. Obviously, with the I think Afghanistan, honestly, is like a serious contender. Afghanistan, Pakistan, India. It's gonna be hot, super hot. Like it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Like some of these nations are really, you're seeing really fall behind. Some teams are really rising up, and some teams are falling behind. Like classic example here, take England and Australia. Right now, like Australia basically changed their entire team, and they don't look like they can win a game. England can't seem to win a game. They have a star lineup. They got Harry Brook, they got Root. They just can't seem to get a win. So it's like, I don't know if it's just these IPL players are really able to just like tee it off, and it's a whole specialist batting technique now paying the T20s. And maybe they have to, some of these nations need to like change who they have in these T20 formats, because Pakistan, India, South Africa, they're putting in big effort. Afghanistan. Yeah. So now we're gonna keep some of those players. I mean, we're pretty lucky here in the States. We're gonna take a lot of the South African players, probably not a lot of the English players, but we'll take the West Indian players. We'll take some Australian players. We'll take the South African players, New Zealand players. So, are we setting up for the draft? Are we gonna let them know who's in, who's out? Gonna give them some. We have a lot of in the chat over here. They're hopping up Gleason, and they're confused on why they let go of Travis Head. Apparently, Travis Head's been let go. Could we confirm this?
Yeah, he has. We'll get over the retained list. It's interesting, man. I mean, Seattle Orca is letting go Quinton de Kock. There's a lot of good value I feel in the draft. No, but it's the skill level, man. I mean, the value for the money you can get some of these players at.
But imagine
it's going to be totally worth it for some of these guys.
But imagine this, right? We're going to discuss, like, let's say Orcas have dropped Quinton de Kock. Head is available. Orcas should just put all their money on Head. Like, I mean, they need an opener. That's an opener on release. Like, get the best opener in the world. Yeah. Put him in the side. Imagine who opens the batting there. That's Rickleton and Head. That's insane. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I love this. This is so good. I love this. This is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely, man. So,
kick us off.
we'll get into that.
Where do you want to start?
Start what?
Well, you said we're going to the MLC. Which team you want to start with? Is that where we're heading next?
You want to get into MLC right away? All right, we can get into MLC if you want right now. I wanted to get
the chat is all asking about MLC. They said they attended a match in North Carolina. Love the tournament. Hope the momentum keeps going. Yeah.
Okay.
Confused on.
All right, so let's do that then. Let's do our MLC one next. Let's do our MLC one next, and we'll get back to our other USA updates, the governance updates, and
put that at the end. We'll give them the good stuff early.
And the ESPNcricinfo Awards, which is huge. So
I
want to make sure that we cover that. Yeah. So, all right, that's fine. So let's get into Major League, man. Big topic for tonight that I wanted to make sure that we hit. I want to go over a list of retained players and a list of released players from each franchise. So you guys have a good idea of who's heading to the draft and who will potentially be a number one draft pick. So we want to know from everybody again that's watching. I'm going to bring the question up. Who do you predict will be the number one draft pick in 2025 MLC draft? Let's go over. The franchises have announced their retained and released players list ahead of 2025 draft, scheduled on February 19th. So we have the draft coming tomorrow. The 6 teams have made strategic roster adjustments, leading to several high-profile international players entering the pool. Defending champions Washington Freedom retained 15 players, the highest among all teams, but opted to release Travis Head, who was their joint highest run scorer last season. This seems like a head scratcher move, Adam, to me. We've discussed it, letting go Travis Head being the second highest run scorer, kind of a head scratcher. And I think he may be the top, draft pick if he's going to the draft, right? So
yeah,
he may be scooped up right away with somebody like a Seattle Orcas. It's a big opportunity for Orcas who've let go of most of their, well, not most, but a big chunk of their roster, their domestic roster. So I'm going to start with, let's say, Seattle Orcas. Seattle Orcas have retained Harmeet Singh, Cameron Gannon, Ali Sheikh, Ayan Desai, Aaron Jones, Heinrich Clausen, Ryan Rickleton, Lungi Ngidi, Nandre Berger, Zaman Khan. This is the list of retained players from Seattle Orcas.
That's solid. That's a solid team right there.
Yeah. Very solid. I like it. And release players, Ahmad Azam, Noman Anwar, Shubman Ranjane, which I think he was the first round draft pick from the previous year, if I'm not mistaken. Imad Wasim, Kimo Paul, Michael Bracewell, and Quinton DeCock, is the big release from the Seattle Orcas. So they're totally in a rebuilding mode. Seattle Orcas, and I think
I wouldn't say I want to go challenge you on totally rebuild. Like, that's the lineup that you mentioned at the start. They retained. That's basically their starting 11. They really so they lost to Cox. They lost an opener. They had Rickleton. I'm not even sure who opened with him last year. Oh, sorry, DeCock opened with him. So losing him, I don't think is a huge. Like, if you can lose him and find another opener, that's fine. Because, then you have Gleason coming in, you have Jones there to bat. You still kept Harmeet Singh there, and then you have your bowlers. You have Gannon, Berger, and you have Zaman. There, it's a solid. Your bowling's locked down. So I think maybe another spinner potentially could be needed, and then an opener. I think that's what they maybe need over there.
Yeah,
but if heads up for sale,
plus the reason. Yeah, the thing with this release list, right, is that they've let go a lot of their local talent, which was, hindering them down. So Seattle Orcas, with the core that they have, and they're going with $180,000 of, buying power into the MLC draft of the domestic draft. So they have $180K sitting around for them to, bring on some local talent, that can, boost this 11, 12 players that they've retained. So buying power wise, they're going into the draft with the most buying power, as Smith Patel reported. Smith Patel reported that teams like Washington Freedom, Los Angeles Knight Riders, and San Francisco Unicorns are unlikely to make significant moves in the draft, with only 15,000 USD, 10,000 USD, and 10,000 USD respectively remaining from their USD $320,000 domestic purse. So they don't have any budget left, these three teams, but the draft promises to be a high-stakes affair for Mumbai Indians, New York, Texas Super Kings, and Seattle Orcas as they look to rebuild after shedding nearly half of their domestic squads. They enter the draft with remaining purses of USD 160, USD 100, and USD 180K, respectively. So Mumbai Indians, New York, Texan Super Kings, and Seattle Orcas really will be the ones fighting out in this domestic draft with, big buying power going into this draft.
Yeah, so I'm keen to see. Let's go through the rest of the teams on the releases. Let's see. I'm trying to pick and choose who we're going to have.
Let's go to Texas Super Kings next. So Texas Super Kings retained Joshua Trump, Calvin Savage, Milan Kumar, Mohammad Mohsin, Ziaul Haq, Sai Teja Mukamala, Fav Duplessis, Devin Conway, Noor Ahmed, and Marcus Stoinis. So these are the retained players from Texas Super Kings. Released players: Aaron Hardy, Aiden Markram, Dwayne Bravo, Mitchell Santner, Raj Nanan, Zia Shahzad, Naveen Haq, Otneil Bartman. This is the released player list, and I think Markram and Santner are probably, and Hardy, Aaron Hardy as well. It's probably three players from this released players list that can, potentially make an impact for other teams.
Don't buy Markram. No one buy Markram. Don't buy Markram. Don't.
He's a talented player, man. I think if he for the value that he comes in, I think it's buying. It's worth buying. I mean, he's.
I think he's just not in form though. It's just one of those things. Like, you can be a talented player, but you're not scoring runs. He just hasn't scored runs in a year. Like, he struggled in the World Cup. He's struggled in his own series at home against Afghanistan. He struggled. He's just struggling for runs. So I think that's great. I think that looks good. That's a good shed. I think that's a good shed right there.
Yeah, I'm surprised with Mitchell Santner though, man. Mitchell Santner is world class, and Texas Super Kings letting him go. I think it's, a kind of, again, a head scratcher, like, Washington Freedom's letting go Travis Head, being their second highest run scorer. Mitchell Santner is probably one of their best performers with the bat, ball, and in the field. So again, kind of a head scratcher of why, someone like a Mitchell Santner would be let go and not be retained. So
they're liking him in the chat. They're liking him in the chat. They're saying Santner is good with the ball, good with the bat. So I don't know. Maybe it's a money thing. Maybe they needed to free up some coin. I'm sure Stoinis is costing him a lot of coin.
And even Duplessis and Devin Conway.
Yeah, big coin. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. So that they're probably in a similar boat. They probably need another opener, and will they need some pace bowlers?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Texas Super Kings they have Stoinis and
Stoinis bowls. He's going to bowl 4.
They're actually lacking fast bowlers. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Fast bowlers. So I don't know who's up for sale. I mean, let's go see around the grounds. Let's go see if we can find him a pace bowler.
All right. So now let's go to LA Knight Riders. LA Knight Riders retained player list: Ali Khan, Aditya Ganesh, Unmuk Chun, Nitish Kumar, Korna Dry, Save Butter, Shadley Van Shelkwick, Matthew Trump, Spencer Johnson, Andre Russell, and Sunil Narayan. These are the retained player lists. Now, released players from LA Knight Riders: David Miller, Jason Roy, Shakib Al-Hassan, Adam Zampa, Alex Carey, Daron Davis, Josh Little, and Waqar Salam Keel.
I'm cool with that too.
Yeah. I mean, I think
a couple things with that. Straight off the bat, we can know that I think you said Alex Carey and Zampa, I don't think even played a game for them last year. So that's totally fine. And they didn't play, I don't think, at all last year. So even though they were selected, I don't think they played.
I think there's some good value here again. I think Alex Carey is good value if you can get him for cheap. I think Jason Roy is great value if you can get him from cheap. I think these guys want to have big breakout seasons, right? And finding like diamonds in a rough that you can get for cheap that maybe had a couple of bad seasons and that they can come have a monster season. It's guys like, Jason Roy or even David Miller. Even though I'm never a fan of David Miller, but he can come through in a clutch situation at times. But Jason Roy and Alex Carey and Adam Zampa, is good, and maybe stay away from Shakib Al-Hasan, So
yeah, I mean, like if you think about it, like I think we mentioned, Orcas need a spinner and they need a opening bat. So if they took Travis Head and Zampa and their 2 picks, that's pretty solid. But I think they need, from trying to crunch the numbers in my head, they need 2 internationals and they need 3 domestic players. I think that's the crunching the numbers in my head. I'm thinking they need. So I think they're only allowed 2 more internationals. So at this point, I'm thinking Orcas take Zampa and Head. They take a spinner and they take a batter, opening batter.
Yeah.
And then we got to find Texas. They got to find them some pace somewhere. We'll find them some pace.
Yeah,
Knight
but
Riders
again,
well here in the chat.
looking at LA Knight Riders, right? LA Knight Riders, let's see where they ended last year on the table, right?
Bottom.
LA Knight Riders, I believe, was second last. Second last. They only won. Last? Yeah, they only won 2 games last year. So they ended at number 5. Means that they will probably get the second draft pick, second overall pick in the draft, right? And Seattle Orcas, who ended 6th, who only won 1 match last year, they probably will get the first overall pick.
So I'm saying they're going to pick Travis Head in the first round. LA Knight Riders can't take Zampa because they just had him, so then he's going to be up for grabs. The Kings, someone else might grab them.
I think they may get Quinton de Kock or somebody like
I think the Kings take de Kock. Yeah.
Because they're gonna try and switch things up. So like LA Knight Riders, let go of some batters and they need to replace some of these players. So I'm thinking Michael Bracewell, Quinton de Kock, as well as Mitchell Santner, Aiden Markram, Aaron Hardy. These are some options that would be available for them, into the free agency. And, if Travis Head doesn't go first, overall, I mean, in the here,
he has to go first overall. It has to
in the draft, and who knows?
Yeah,
we'll check it out. We'll check it out.
What's next? What do you got? San Francisco.
So now let's go to, we just did LA Knight Riders, Mumbai Indians, New York, MI New York. Retain player list: Ehsan Adil, Noshdush Kenjige, Monang Patel, Heath Richards, Rushil Ugarkar, Sunny Patel, Kyron Pollard, Nicholas Puran, Rashid Khan, Trent Bolt.
Solid.
Yeah, they have four big superstars, and then obviously some USC players. Then released player list: Devil Brewis, Stephen Taylor, Tim David, Romario Shepard, Ruben Clinton, Cheyenne Jahangir, Heinrich Norche, and Kagiso Rabada. So Rabada and Norche both were released by Mumbai Indians New York. And
again,
these could be great buys. Yeah.
Another caveat there, both of those players didn't play last year. So that's probably another reason for release. But yeah, being up for grabs, that's awesome. So you'd almost think if Rabada is available to play, if Norche is available to play, Super Kings probably a good big time for them to go there. Stuffuses to see already there. If Kings right now, they're gonna become the new South Africa. They would pick de Kock, and they would pick both of the pace bowlers, and then they're set. That's their pace lineup, and that's their opening 2 batters. That would be solid. The Quinton de Kock and Stuffuses open the batting, and then Rabada and Norche bowling. That's insane.
I feel like Seattle Orcas, since they have the most buying power, I think they will probably want to target somebody like a Travis Head first overall, and then maybe get into a Rabada and a Norche. If they can land these 3 guys, even just in the draft, that would be sick,
So I think
even 2 of them.
I don't think Orcas are going to take a fast bowler because they already have a solid fast bowling lineup. They've got Gannon, they've got Berger, and they've got Zaman. So that's like their 3 fast bowlers. There's no reason to take another fast bowler if it's international. They'd only have they'd want to take another pace bowler, would have to be a domestic fast bowler because there's fit.
And they have Lungi Ngidi as well. Lungi Ngidi. from South
Yeah,
Africa.
so I think at this point, like Orcas are probably looking ahead if they get the first round pick. Second round pick is going to go to LA. They're probably going to look for. They could try to pick off one of these fast bowlers to bowl with Ali Khan. That would be like pretty. Imagine like Rabada Ali Khan from each end. That's pretty next level.
Yeah.
Or they might actually probably LA Night Riders will probably want a batter first because they need to get some runs on the board. They're probably going to buy some batters. But yeah, that's interesting.
And Mumbai's going in with some money, right? So Mumbai is going in with let's see, 160K. So Mumbai has some options to, see and pick. So they will be spending some money. And it's possible, that they get a Kagiso Rabada back or Norche back into, they may redraft them again. They may be just looking at it. Hey, let's check out our options, and we still may get an opportunity to land some of these guys or maybe somebody better. So they may be just playing and taking that risk, with the draft, I think. But I think, again, Norche and Rabada, big value, man. And even Steven Taylor. I think Steven Taylor is a low buy, high reward. He's somebody that you would probably want to have on your team if he's a low buy because, he can win you matches. He's a match winner. So I think it's a good buy low, and high value target. Same thing with a guy like Shayan Jahangir, who, hit that ODI 100 in the last ODI that he played, and then hasn't played since due to visa issues and other issues that he's been going through. So I think, again, he's an informed guy, another low buy, high value type of a target that it could be this season. Looking at Mumbai and New York. Now let's move to San Francisco Unicorns. San Francisco Unicorns, Corey Anderson. This is the list of retained players. Corey Anderson, Hassan Khan, Liam Plunkett, Carmile Rakoy. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, Leroux. Yeah.
Leroux. There you go. Brody Couch, Karima Gore. Karima Gore is one of her USA stars from the past, plays domestic in the West Indies. Check out his interview on the Reverse Scoop. We had a chat with him a while back, so his interview is there. So check that out. John Wade Drysdale plays in the New York National League, where New Milford Cricket Club will be playing this coming season. Sanjay Krishnamurti, Haris Rao, Finn Allen, Jake Fraser-McGurk, and Matthew Short is the list of retained players for San Francisco Unicorns. The list of released players: Sherfane Rutherford, Tajinder Singh, Wian Mulder, Jamar Hamilton, Josh English, Abrar Ahmed, Matt Henry, and Pat Cummins. There's some talent here too, man. Josh English, Abrar Ahmed, I think, is a good buy. Matt Henry, Pat Cummins, Sherfane Rutherford, and even Wian Mulder. I think there's some good value here, man, in the players released by San Francisco Unicorns.
Yeah, I mean, clearly maybe the best bowler on release right now would be Cummins. I think an extra Rabada. I know Cummins only played half of the season last year. I don't know if that was because of touring issues or he was playing with Australia or if he just couldn't make it, whatever. But he only played half the season last year. So they're going to have to consider that if they do buy him. Is he going to be able to play all the games? So that's important. Obviously, they went to the finals last year with him there. I'm sure he helped a lot with the captaincy. Corey Anderson's a great captain for them. So that's a great squad. I mean, they kept Liam Plunkett. He's great with the ball. Obviously, a veteran of the game, really good there. I think they have a pretty good fast bowling attack. I think you said they have two other fast bowlers. They got the Pakistan bowler, right? So I think what would they need if we looked at their lineup? Fraser McGurk right now is this big yo-yo question mark over him. He scores a lot of runs and he hasn't scored any runs, and I know he can really tee off, but releasing Josh Inglis, that's a great pick for someone. They can pick him up. He's great with the bat. I feel like him and Carey, they could get picked up and really help a team. And not even if they don't have to be keeper. Like Carey doesn't have to be keeper. He can be not keeper and just bat. He's a good batter.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think it's a good core of players here with San Francisco Unicorn, and I think they can get some good value still in the draft, but they don't have a big purse. They're going only with I think like $10,000 in their purse. So they're not going to be buying.
Maybe they buy Taylor,
side.
so they have just a person to bat top of the order batting. Maybe they put him at open.
Yeah,
maybe that's an option there. I think because they have enough pace. I don't think they need Pat Cummins. Like Pat Cummins was extra. I think it was just a name. So because they have, like I say, they have Drysdale as well. So so who we got left? We got the Washington Freedom, I think, is last, right?
Yeah, Washington Freedom is the last one that's left. So Washington Freedom, list of retained players: Andres Gauss, Mukhtar Ahmed, Obus Pinar, Saurabh Netravalkar, Ian Holland, Amila Aponzo, Justin Dill, Lahiru Milanta, Yasser Mohammed, Marco Jensen, Glenn Maxwell, Lockie Ferguson, Ruchin Ravindra, Stephen Smith, and Jack Edwards. And the released players: Travis Head, Akil Hussain, Akhilesh Reddy, Andrew Tai, and Jasdeep Singh. So Jesse Singh being released as well out of the Washington Freedom.
Did you mention Maxwell? He must have been retained, right?
Maxwell is retained, yes. Glenn Maxwell, Lockie Ferguson, Ruchin Ravindra, Steve Smith. This is a packed lineup, man. Andres Gauss, Saurabh Netravalkar, Ian Holland, Marco Jensen. It's a solid squad, man. I like this team.
So they're losing a top order batter. So, but I mean, even if they lose Head, they still have Gauss, Smith, and Max. That could still be their top three, technically. So they may want another opener to replace him. Maybe they take Taylor. Potentially. Maxwell retained. And then their pace bowlers have Netravalkar, obviously one of the best, America's best pace bowler. And he took the most wickets last year. So that's also good. What do they have? What are they looking like for spin over there?
They gave up Akil Hussain, which is their left arm spinning bowling all rounder. I think he's really good. He's a 360 player, bats, bowls, fields. I think they probably should have kept him, in my opinion, and probably would have let somebody else go. But I wanted to actually know the reasons why some of these players are let go. Right? What's the strategy behind this? Is it the money? Is it that you don't want to retain some of these players? I want to know the back end thinking, what's going on in the staff's mind, when they're coming up with these selections. And as of now, we don't have, a lot of explanations from, these franchises of why they're making some of the decisions that they're making, as, it would be in an MLB or in any other major league sports in the US, where the franchises actually, come and let you know, hey, this is why we've made certain decisions. I don't think we're there yet. We're at the very starting phases of, getting this going. So,
well, it's one of those things where the big difference between cricket and Major League Baseball is that Major League Baseball players are playing all in the same league. It's Major League Baseball umbrella. Like a player from the MLC may not be retained because maybe he's going to go play 100, and then maybe he doesn't want to play after, or maybe he's going to go here, maybe going to go there, maybe he wants a break. So we don't exactly. They've been released, but we don't know if it's like, it's not really a release. Technically, it really just could be a situation where like someone like Cummins, his workload is so packed, he's going to be coming off IPL. Travis Head's going to be coming off IPL. Maybe they just say, we're going to pull the pin on the MLC because really the pennies, it's honestly pennies that are getting paid by the MLC compared to IPL.
Oh, yeah.
So it's pennies. So
it's exponentially going to increase, though. I feel like, next 5 years, you probably see that income or the budgets being 5x, if we continue to grow in that manner, right? And it's going to become even more lucrative for you to be on the major league draft. And it's probably going to become, and I'm foreseeing that it's probably going to become the pinnacle of T20 World League cricket, is to probably get drafted into a league like Major League Cricket. But again, that's probably 5-10 years on from here, which we're probably going to be building towards. And, this is the third season, and I think it's going to be the best of the last, all the seasons we've had so far, 3, right? And continuous improvement. We're going to be adding 2 more major league teams to the major league. We discussed that in one of our episodes, Adam. Which 2 cities will that be? Will it be Toronto? Will it be Atlanta? Will it be Chicago, or Chicago. Another? I think it was California, or Houston, or somewhere. I forgot another somewhere place. Else, So we don't know, but the growth is going to be there. I think more money is going to be involved. But right now, this is the domestic numbers we're looking at, the domestic purses of these franchises. And yeah, we've gone over, most of the retained players and the released players from all franchises. So, now let us know what you guys think. Who will be the number one pick? I think it's going to be Head. Adam, do you agree there, man? Or
yeah, I think Travis said if he's available. Travis said has to be the number one pick, 100%. If Cummins is available, I don't know if he's going to be potential. Like if he's available and someone needs a pace bowler, go ahead. But I mean, if we look at it, let's think about who needs the pace bowler. The pace bowler, he could technically go to the Freedom. He could technically go to the Knight Riders. I think maybe he goes. I don't know if the Mumbai, India, New York has the money or needs have another pace bowler. Maybe they'd probably take another batter up there because they have Puran, obviously really good up top of the order. They need to have that they have Rashid Khan. Rashid Khan in MLC really should play at like 4 or 5. He shouldn't bat it. He should not bat less than 5. Absolutely not. He should not in the MLC. Maybe for Afghanistan he can bat 7, but for in MLC he's just that good in MLC to bat at 5. Absolutely, hands down.
Yeah.
So.
He's good anywhere, man. I think even in international cricket, he can probably bat 5, 6 if they gave him the opportunity. He's got that aggressive style. He can score those quick runs, and why not? If it's somebody who wants to go and go with an attacking mindset and take the game on, it's never a bad idea when you want to do that and take a chance with any player. And Rashid Khan obviously has the skill and the talent to be able to do that. So that was our, MLC segment, and let us know again, who's your number one draft pick, and tomorrow's draft, will be exciting, and, we'll know who will, be coming, number one on the draft, and we'll do a list next week of, all the squads with the players that were drafted into the teams and, what the lineups will potentially look like. So to end this segment, Adam, let's do, ranking our teams right now by the retained players. What's their strength? So let's do this like a pre-draft rankings and then a post-draft rankings of all the teams. So of the 6 teams that we have, where will we place them right now, looking at pre-rankings, like pre-draft, and the players that they have retained? Who are you seeing from 6 to 1? So
pre-draft with no released players in the squad, we're gonna have to go. Orcas have to be number 1 with their lineup. Their lineup is absolutely solid right now with this as it is. I think MI New York come in at number 2 with Rashid Khan, Bolt, Puran, solid. I think Washington Freedom probably have to come in at number 3. Even with Maxwell, Smith, Gauss, still very good. They've lost Head, so they're like that was like their big, X factor. So that's going to come into 3. For the bottom 3 teams, probably going to have to go San Francisco with their retained players. That's a solid lineup. They have a solid, bowling there. And then with the last 2, I feel like probably going to have to go Texas and then LA. Like LA have to basically rebuild the team. I think they were the worst performing team and probably have the less star power in their team, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like Orcas last year did worse than they should have. Like they had a star team that weren't able to get the wins, unfortunately. Like they, you know what I mean? Whereas LA probably ended up where they probably should have ended up. You know what I mean? That's what I got there. That's my picks.
Yeah.
What are your picks?
Yeah,
what are your 1 through 6?
I think my pre-draft, I think I'm gonna go with Washington Freedom still being in the lead, from last year. They won the championship. They retained 15 players, which is the most out of all the franchises. So for me, I think they're number 1. They're the most strongest team pre-draft, in my opinion. The second one, I would say, after Washington Freedoms, in my opinion, is San Francisco Unicorns. Again, their rankings reflect that from last year. They've retained good, I think 70% of their roster, and they're going in with a smaller domestic budget. Same thing with Washington Freedom, but looking at last year and keeping the momentum going, I think these two franchises stay on top. And then I think these bottom four teams, Texas Super Kings, Mumbai Indians, New York, LA Knight Riders, and Seattle Orcas, I think these are the teams where we see, more movement when it comes to strength. And I'm thinking that Seattle Orcas is going to make a jump to being the third best team in the league after this draft. Even though pre-draft, I would still rank them probably, 4 or 5. But I think post-draft, they could be a potential of, taking quite a significant jump from last year, from 6 to potentially 4 or 3. But for now, I think Texas Super Kings stay at 3. Looking at their current domestic retained players and their current strategy, they're going in with, I believe, a small budget as well. So Texas Super Kings is my number 3. And then we'll go with Mumbai Indians, New York at 4, LA Knight Riders at 5, and Seattle Orcas at 6 for me. But I think post-draft, it's going to look vastly different. I think Seattle Orcas will make a pretty big jump since they're going in with big budgets, $180,000 of domestic buying power for this domestic draft, MLC draft tomorrow. So,
yeah,
that's what I got for that, man.
Awesome. And I mean, sticking with the American players, transitioning to the next segment, the Associate Nation Awards, or the ESPN Cricket Info Awards came out a couple days ago, and America hit a big. We struck gold over there. We hit a big win, big award winner right there for USA.
Yeah, big award winner. Let me bring that up on the screen. Let me see. I had it up. Here's the question, I guess. Which USA player deserved an award but didn't get one? Drop your pick in the chat, and we'll let you know.
Andreas Gauss, hands down. Andreas Gauss, Hamid Singh.
Yeah, definitely. These guys were. Yeah,
they should have more awards for the bowlers in those associate nations, because think about Hamid Singh, Dynamite Re-Singh from Nepal. There are some outstanding bowlers from these associate nations, and they're not getting the hype that they should. But I mean, I'm big on that Hamid Singh train. We're pumping him up everywhere. Pumping him up. He's good. But I think Andreas Gauss also could have won an award for his performance. I think his performances, though, were in losing events. So, but still, I never. He hit up for a 6. Get over the fence.
I know. Absolutely, man. But congratulations to Aaron Jones on winning the batting performance of the year, Associate Batting Performance of the Year award. Making the USA Cricket Nation proud, as well as Saurabh Netravalkar, who's become the hero of this USA Cricket, fandom, right, where he won the Associate Bowling Performance of the Year. So, kudos to those guys for putting USA Cricket on the map, and we're doing super well on and World Cricket League 2, and these guys are again, holding their own, doing their thing. Shout outs to some nominees that were nominated for awards. You already mentioned Andres Gauss, who was nominated, didn't get the award. Monang Patel, captain of the USA men's team, was also nominated for certain performances. Noshtush Kenjige, as well as Ali Khan. So these were some nominees that were for the ESPN Cricket Info Recognition Awards, but still getting 2 awards. Aaron Jones and Netravalkar, gave us some really good moments, from the World Cup, and I think there was the reason behind why those performances have become so iconic now. The '94 versus Canada, I believe, Aaron Jones, and then Netravalkar's bowling performance, throughout the tournament, and the amazing spells that he bowled. So.
But yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones could have had 2 of those awards. I mean, the 94 against Canada, and then the next match against Pakistan, hanging in there in the end, winning the super over. Mine is actually no one's ever going to remember what he scored for that game. All we're going to remember is that he won the game. He hit the winning runs. That's all we're going to remember.
Yeah.
He could have gotten 5 runs. No one would have cared, but he hit the winning runs. Well, he got way more than 5. He really guided that whole game home. Netravalkar in the super over. Also clutch right there. Fantastic performances. And from around the world, just in the chat, we have someone tuning in from Italy playing cricket in Italy. Definitely nice. I saw that these associate nations, speaking on the associate nations, the European League is really taking off. I mean, I love watching the European League on YouTube. You've got all the European nations are competing in the European League. They have the women's, they have the men's. Italy is looking for players. They're taking some Australian players, and one of the guys that played for
Joe Burns
is captaining Team Italy.
He is.
And I saw that there's
a couple other guys,
couple of Australian guys, that are playing over there. So definitely, if you're fit enough, I would look into the European cricket. Get yourself into a team. Try to work your way up to there, because the Italy's, they're going to be competing in the World Cup, like in the Olympics, like. Cricket is coming to the Olympics, so all these associate nations are getting themselves together in their own leagues, and it's going to be fun. Like, imagine we have you've never seen before, Italy versus Africa, or Italy versus whatever, Germany
USA,
versus
Italy versus USA,
Switzerland versus New Zealand. Like, it's going to be just insane, But that's what's coming. That's what's happening. It's gonna be awesome.
Italian cricket is being put on the map, man. There's definitely some investment going there. There's about I believe 100 or 110 about like clubs in Italy that actually make up this entire cricketing infrastructure over there, right? And they get a lot of the players from, again, similarly how it is here in the USA, where we're getting players from overseas and immigrants that are moving here for work and for other things. Same thing with Italy. They have people from all over Australia, New Zealand, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. And they're all combining to, obviously, come up with this team. So I think if they're able to put something together, get some funding from the ICC, I don't see why not. They could do the same thing what USA Cricket is doing right now, right? So I think it's a great, man, for, cricket, and cricket is for all. It's not a one-nation sport. It's not a 10-nation sport. We want to see cricket being played, all men, women, boys, girls, be inclusive to every country. So that's the ultimate vision, right? That we see it everywhere, but right now obviously we're a long way away from that. But moving in the right direction. So again, kudos to our USA players for much deserved awards, and looking forward to much more performances this year from USA Cricket, 2027 ODI World Cup, the T20 World Cup in 2026, Olympics. The next 3 years after this year is going to be really, really, high for us, I feel like, because I feel like right now it's like, the calm before the storm for USA Cricket. We're going to get through Major League. We're going to get through our World Cricket League 2. But as soon as 2026 hits, T20 World Cup, then ODI World Cup, and then Olympics, I think it's going to be, a lot happening then after that. So I think the next 3-4 years, USA Cricket's going to be really, really up there, man.
Absolutely.
And these awards, we're going to look back, in time and say, man, these guys helped us, achieve these journeys for the USA Cricket. So again, congrats to these guys on doing a wonderful job for USA Cricket, and continuing to do their thing. So that was our performance, the Cricinfo Awards segment for this section. If you have any questions regarding that, drop them in the chat. We'll bring them up towards the end and answer all of your guys' questions as we go through our last few segments that we have left. We got a couple segments we have left now. Yeah, we got Champions Trophy, and we have USA Cricket governance updates. So I want to go through the governance updates real quick, and then we can get into Champions Trophy. So the governance update, first thing is that USA Cricket announces election process for board positions and strengthened athlete representation. As of February 15, 2025, USA Cricket today announced the commencement of the election process to fill 3 board of director positions, alongside a series of governance changes designed to enhance athlete representation and further align with the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee (USOPC) standards. These steps mark a continued commitment to building a stronger, more transparent, and more athlete-focused organization. Following governance reviews, the board of directors has undergone changes, including the removal of 3 director positions effective as of the December 2024 USA Cricket Board meeting. The impacted positions include Kuljit Singh Najjar, individual director, Arun Gona, individual director, and Patricia Whitaker, independent director. Additionally, David Hobart, an incumbent independent director, has been recommended for reappointment by the board of directors. The nominating and governance committee is currently in process of reviewing the recommendations for reappointment. With these changes, USA Cricket is now moving forward with a structured election process to ensure the continued representation of key stakeholders within the organization. Election process for individual directors. The individual director positions on the board play a critical role in shaping the direction of USA Cricket. These individuals represent the broader cricketing community and bring expertise that strengthens governance, development initiatives, and operational oversight. Eligibility to vote in this election is extended to all registered and eligible individual members of USA Cricket. Candidates must meet constitutional requirements demonstrating significant contributions to the sport. The peer review period will precede the formal application and election of directors. The peer review timeline for individual directors is as follows: 15 February 2025, announcement of elections and membership review process. February 16 to March 1st, 2025, member data published for peer review. March 1st to March 10th, 2025, player data peer review period. And March 10th, completion of member data audit. And USA Cricket Chairman Venu Piske emphasized the importance of this process, stating these elections are an opportunity to ensure that USA Cricket is guided by individuals who are passionate about the sport's growth and committed to upholding the principles of strong governance and inclusivity. We look forward to welcoming new board members who will help drive the future of USA Cricket. And yeah, there's we'll drop a link in the chat, and there's a further election process that you guys can look at. So I'm going to drop that into the comments right now so you guys can take a look and have a read throughout. So essentially the elections are going to be run, if you're interested in running, if you're part of the a registered member portal, I believe you'll be allowed to vote. And if you want to be part of the board process, I believe you need to be nominated to get in there. So but it's a good opportunity for people that want to get involved and make an actual change. This is where it is. So we'll be trying. I'm sure I'll try, Adam will try, we'll see how far we can get with USA Cricket.
Sign me up. I'll be president. I'll be on the chair. I'll get it sorted.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. Forget about it. Forget about it.
AB to the rescue, man.
Don't worry, guys. I got it. Whatever you need, I'll sort it out. Don't worry about it.
Sounds like a Family Guy episode, Don't worry about it, man. Peter.
I'll sort it out. All right, I'll sort it out. No, we'll get them sorted. We'll make sure that when they go, they got everything they need. They'll be sorted. Don't worry.
Absolutely. And there's also USA Cricket announces appointment process for female independent director positions. So we'll drop that link as well in the chat, and take a look. And yeah, any independent female directors that want to be a part of it, go read up on this. And we want more people to get involved that are passionate about the game here in the US. So that was the update from the USA's governance side, that elections will finally be underway. We'll have some changes coming up, and hopefully leads to more transparency and more clear vision alignment, for USA Cricket. So great things going on there. Now let's get into our last segment of the night, Adam. Champions Trophy, man. Champions Trophy starting tomorrow. It's going to be, there's an article on Cricket Info.
Morning. It's like our morning.
Yeah, actually, for us, like 4 a.m., right? But there was an article, right, that said that it's a test for ODI cricket. Champions Trophy is essentially a test for ODI cricket and Pakistan cricket as hosts, right? So, where do you think ODI cricket lies, man? Are we headed towards the death of ODIs in like the next 10 years, or is this still truly alive and well? Do you still see it being played for the next like 50 years?
So I'll die on the hill that ODI cricket is the best form of the game. Like I'll die on that hill.
Me too.
Like ODI cricket is the best form of the game. Like T20 cricket is its own game. It's its own skill set. It takes T20 cricket has taken the cricketer and the traditionalism of cricket out of the game. That doesn't exist anymore. It's a different game. You teach the kids to smash it as hard as they can, hit it over the top, hit it in the air, hit it for 6, and then with the bowling techniques, it's like all different. It's a different ball every ball. It's not about line and length. It's not about using the seam. It's not about getting it to swing away, getting it to swing in. No, fast ball, slower ball, pace on, pace off, cutter, bouncer, Yorker. It's all different. It's like the field placement and everything. It's a different game. 50 over cricket is to the traditional cricket in a shortened format. It's you're going to get a result in one day. Both teams have to go out and bat the best they can, post a big total, and then you're able to have that traditional style of cricket, that slower pace, that more traditional style, and get the result in one day. It's just test match cricket with a result in one day. That's really what it is. And I mean, I think I want to hold on to it. I don't want to lose it, because for me, watching ODI cricket is more exciting than watching T20 cricket. That's just my opinion. I mean, obviously for the newer viewer, obviously watching for 8 hours or 6, 7 hours, whatever it is obviously going to be a stretch. But I just loved as a kid watching Australia. I was Australian, watching them play, the ODI, the day-night test matches. You get home from school, it's already a couple of overs in, you're watching it, and then they put the lights on, and they come out and bat for the next thing, and just watching it in the dark, but, the lights in nighttime, I love it. So I don't think it's going anywhere, and I honestly feel that this Pakistan-India game has the potential to be the most viewed game ever. Like, they hit 300 million for the winner, India, Australia in the World Cup. Pakistan, India got 400 million views during the T20 World Cup. And for this beef, which is a beef right now, there's no Indian flag flying at Karachi or wherever the big stadium is. I think this is a beef.
My home ground.
This is a real beef. Yeah, this is a real beef. I think they're going to get 500 million viewers to watch that game. That's going to be a huge game. And I think that Pakistan obviously has a chance to go into the finals, as well as India. I think New Zealand's probably going to ruin the party for Pakistan, honestly. But it's going to be huge watching this game. The numbers are going to be insane. So to think that it's
there's purpose. There's purpose behind every decision that they make, even as little as, hey, the flag is not there of Indian cricket. It may seem like a thing to kind of rile up the fans and, get everybody going and, reason for everybody to tune in and watch the battle,
Yeah. Like the only thing wrong with this Champion Trophy is that Sri Lanka isn't playing, because apparently it doesn't have to do with the rankings. I found that out today. Technically, Sri Lanka is a 6th ranked nation, so they should be there, but because Pakistan has to be the host, and then it has to do with like where they sat during the last World Cup. Something like that. The top 8 teams of the World Cup.
I think, like when they locked it, right? When they locked the rankings to decide that, hey, these 8 teams will play Champions Trophy, Sri Lanka were out of that 8th ranking. When they locked it. So they've climbed their ranking, since then. But at the time where there was a date like, hey, until this date is whatever the ranking is, we're gonna lock it.
Got it. So because they just rolled. They just rolled Australia. Australia's going to get absolutely rolled. You're going to hear it here first on the pod. We'll hear it here second on the pod.
Yeah.
Australia doesn't win a game. They get absolutely rolled. They got no one there. They got no Cummins. They got no Stark. They got no Hazelwood. They got no one there. No one there. They're going to get absolutely rolled. Afghanistan, going to roll them. South Africa, going to roll them. England's even going to roll them. Even going to roll them. That's big right there. But New Zealand, Pakistan, kick it off. Let's just kind of run through this. Who's winning this game? The decider. Who's winning the opening game right here? Who you got? I mean, I'm thinking maybe a little flash. Go ahead.
Champions Trophy. Let me just bring this up. Champions Trophy. We'll call it.
I'll read them off to you right here.
New Zealand, I have the matches up. I'm just gonna type in a banner here for our.
The chat's going wild. The chat says half says New Zealand, half says Pakistan. It's half and half in the chat.
Oh, really?
It's going to be a good game.
Champions Trophy, rapid fire. We'll do a rapid fire on these matches.
Rapid fire.
Champions Trophy, rapid fire on the matches.
Spam the chat. What do you think? It's coming up now. Spam the chat.
All right, let's start it. So New Zealand and Pakistan, you said, right? I think New Zealand has the upper hand in this match since they won that series. The Tri-Nation going into it. But I think Pakistan's unpredictable nature will come through in this particular match, and they will take the cake.
I will say there's good money on this game going 700 to combined runs plus. I think it's 350 is going to be the score. You got to get 350 to win that game. You know,
Karachi is the best place to play ODI cricket, man. I mean, there's been some massive games. Pakistan recently chased 355. Recently on Karachi
against South Africa,
against South Africa. So I think it's going to be a battle, and it's 50-50. I'd actually give an edge to New Zealand 60-40, but never count Pakistan out, man. Their unpredictable nature, never know, especially their home turf. They have to show up. Their skipper's in good form. Their bowling, albeit, is lacking. These guys, getting hit for a lot of runs in their fast bowling department. But while New Zealand, on the other hand, is a complete unit, it's going to be a tough battle. But New Zealand upper hand. But I can see Pakistan also coming up top. Being their unpredictable nature is always on the cards.
Let's blaze through it here. India or Bangladesh?
India.
It's easy, I think. India cruising. No one's arguing. Afghanistan, South Africa.
We're gonna go with South Africa.
Oh, I'm going Afghanistan. I've got big money on Afghanistan.
I'm going South Africa. Let us know in the chat too what you guys think as we run through this list. Whatever your guys' picks is, we want to know, and we'll bring it up a little later afterwards. Go ahead, man. Keep going.
Aussie versus England. Australia versus England.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go Australia here.
No, absolutely rolled. Get rolled. Not a chance. England's rolling them.
Man, the Australian culture is too powerful. I think I'm gonna give them a chance. Sophie's
Sophie's here. We're coming to the end. We're
almost done, Soph.
You pick, Sophie. You pick. Here we go. We're gonna go Pakistan versus India. What's your pick? Who you pick?
Who's
Pakistan
winning?
Or India. India. Oh,
no!
You heard it here first. India. Sophie says India. Okay, she's rolling in. Okay, so what's next?
I'm gonna go Pakistan.
Pakistan here. New Zealand versus Bangladesh. Who's gonna win? New Zealand versus Bangladesh. Yes. You picked New Zealand. Wow, good job. I picked New Zealand.
Ask for the next one.
South Africa versus Australia.
Australia.
Nah, I think South Africa. Yeah.
I'm going Australia.
Sure, you want to take it back, or you still think South Africa? I mean, you still think Australia? you don't need it. You're wrong. Afghanistan versus England.
England.
Oh, she thinks England. Wow, big. This is
England.
This is a big prediction right here. Pakistan, Bangladesh.
Let's go Bangladesh here, since Pakistan's unpredictable nature is always on the cards.
So he picks Bangladesh too.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really gonna mess the lines up. Afghanistan versus Australia.
Australia.
You can see yourself in the mirror. Australia versus Afghanistan. Hey, Afghanistan. That's his pick right there. South Africa versus England. South Africa versus England. Good pick.
Let's go England. I'll go England here.
Last one here. New Zealand versus India. New Zealand or India?
New Zealand.
Yeah, good pick. That's my pick. That's my hot take. That's my hot take right there. New Zealand.
So who's making the top 4 before we call it off?
I have New Zealand, India, Afghanistan, South Africa. That's my top 4.
And who's making the top 2? Final.
I think it's gonna be this weird situation where New Zealand actually plays India again, because I think if it works out exactly the way that I've mapped it out, India play Afghanistan and win, and then New Zealand play South Africa and win, which means it goes back to India or New Zealand. That's my prediction. I think that could work. But that all hedges its bet on New Zealand beating India in round 12. That's true.
That's going to be tough, but I think I'm going to go with India, New Zealand, South Africa, and Pakistan. I think England, Australia, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh is the ones I'm taking out. And the top 2, I'm going to go with an India-Pakistan final. And the Champions Trophy, man.
Oh, India-Pakistan final. Yeah, that's the script. That's the legit script. That's the script they wrote. So
that's what I'm thinking, man. So let's see what happens if it works out or not.
If that's the legit final, that could do a billion. That could do a billion views. That first billion viewed game ever.
Absolutely, man. Rock solid. Good pod tonight, Adam. What a pod. Great coverage and everything that we did tonight. Thank you for everything, Adam. Thank you to all the viewers who engaged tonight and watched. Make sure to check out our membership sections, check out our reverse scoop shops. It supports youth cricket development at the grassroots level, and check those out and stick with us throughout the week for more updates. And until next week, Adam Bannon and Nabil Khan from the reverse scoop and Sophie. Calling it a night.
We're saying bye. Oh, she wants to tell you something. What are you gonna tell him?
What's up, Soph?
I have a wiggly tooth now.
Oh, she's got a wiggly tooth.
You do?
Yeah.
The tooth fairy's coming soon. Make sure you ask her for $100, okay?
Look at that.
It's this one.
Wow. Here on the pod, guys. You heard it here on the pod first, right here.
There you go.
Bye,
Tooth fairy's coming. All right, guys. Have a good week. Catch you guys next week. Thank you.